Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Belinda. Beauties, today I'm going to be creating two pumpkin patch stands. The first one will be this outdoor one, and I'm also going to be adding a scarecrow and also some pumpkins up at the top. And then this second one will be a tabletop pumpkin patch stand. So if you want to see how I create them, then please keep watching. But before that we get started, I just want to ask if you could please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also if you'll click that bell icon so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. One thing that I want to mention is the majority of the items are from the Dollar Tree. Okay, let me start by showing you the items that I'll be using. I'll be using my glue gun, some spray paint from Rust-Oleum in the color Satin Nickel, and also some white spray paint, and this is from the Color Place. Some Waverly Shock Paint, and this is a matte finish in the color Mineral. Some Waverly Shock Paint in the matte finish in the color White. A paint dish, a kitchen knife, some scissors, some black and white wired checkered ribbon, and this is from the brand The Ribbon Boutique, and I purchased this at Hobby Lobby. Some black sequins ribbon, this hanging scarecrow that says welcome, and I purchased this at Dollar Tree. And also a black permanent marker, some twine, one burlap leaf, 3 plastic flower pots, and I purchased these at Walmart a while back, and these are the larger ones. 2 packs of Excelsior, and I'll be using several pumpkins. I'll be transforming all of them. And I'll also be using 2 pizza pans, some florals, especially the sunflowers, 1 LED pillar candle, 1 candle holder. I chose this one because it has a wider rim. Some orange iridescent glitter that I had on hand. Also some Mod Podge, some maple leaves. Okay, for the first pumpkin stand, I'm gonna be stacking the 3 flower pots this way, and I'm gonna be hot gluing each one of them. Now you can use the super glue or E6000. I chose not to just because I was doing this project and I didn't want it to take too long to dry. I'm just showing you that a little bit of that hot glue seeped over on the sides, but it's okay because I'm gonna be covering that. Now, once that they are completely finished and stacked up, the next thing that I'm gonna do is get the pizza pan, and I'm also gonna hot glue it on the top flower pot. And then once that is already set and done, the next thing that I'm gonna do is spray paint it. And here I just wanna show you how tall my pumpkin stand is, and it is approximately 26.5 inches tall. And now I'm ready to go and spray paint it, and then once it's done, I'll go ahead and bring it inside and finish it up. Okay, for the second pumpkin stand, I'm going to be using this candle holder, and I'm going to place it in the center of the back side of the pizza pan. I've already made a marking in the center as best as I could, and then I'm going to hot glue the candle holder and then just place it on the back. Now, you could use super glue or E6000. I didn't just because it would take too long for it to dry. Okay, now that my stand is already all glued up, I'm ready to go and spray paint it. So I'll be taking it outside, and once it's done, I'll bring it inside and finish off the project. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a lot of prep work on these pumpkins, and I'm going to start off with the 2 bigger ones. Now, this one right here is from Walmart. And as you can see, it was $5.98. It was not that expensive. And this smaller one was also the same price. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do to both of them is I'm going to remove the stem. You don't need any tools to remove them. All you do is just give it a good tug and they will come right out. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on the smaller pumpkin, and I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna cut a ring around the top of the pumpkin, and I'm just gonna cut around it, and then I'm gonna make little slices and just carve it out, basically is what I'm gonna do, but just carving off the top part and creating a hole. This is a little bit messy. I just want to forewarn you. Now, as you see, I'm just pulling out the chunks of styrofoam, and here I'm just showing you how deep the hole is. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take both of these outside and I'm going to spray paint them white, and then once they're dry, I'll bring them back inside. Okay, the next pumpkins that I'm going to be working with are these smaller ones from Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to do is remove the top that it came with, all the flowers and the different leaves. I'm just going to remove everything and also the stems. And then I'm also going to take them outside and spray paint them white as well. Some will be spray paint with a Rust-Oleum satin nickel color. And some of the smaller pumpkins, I left them as is with the stem is what I mean. And then I just painted them with the acrylic chalk paint by Waverly. I used the white color and also the mineral color. The next pumpkins that I worked on were these Dollar Tree foam pumpkins. Now, I wanted to try a technique that I have never done before, and I wanted to spell out fall in cursive using my hot glue gun. And this is how it turned out, and I did not like how it looked. So I did the other pumpkin, but this time I did each letter individually. Next, I painted them with the Waverly chalk paint in the color white, and then I set them out so they could dry. Okay, now that the paint is dry on the pumpkin, I'm ready to go ahead and just outline the word fall using my black marker. I was going to go ahead and leave it as is, but then at the last moment I decided to go ahead and trace out the letters just so they could stand out just a little bit more. The next thing that I did to this pumpkin is I just added some twine at the top of the stem, and all I did was just put some hot glue and then just wrap it around the stem until I was completely done. And for this other white pumpkin, what I did is I added 4 strips going down on each side of the pumpkin. And here I'm just showing you that I've added 3 of the strips, and I wanted you to see what they look like from the top side of the pumpkin. And so what I did is I folded the corners, and then as I'm showing you right here, and then I placed that folded side up at the top along the side of the stem where it's the flat side, and then I just hot glued it. Once I was done hot gluing the top side of the ribbon, I turned over my pumpkin on the bottom side, and then I hot glued all the rest of the ribbons at the bottom base of the pumpkin, and this is what it looked like. I wanted this pumpkin to have a different stem than the other one, so I decided to add the black sequins ribbon to this one. I'm telling you, there was a lot of prep work for these 2 projects. Now what I'm doing here is I am just painting over these maple fall leaves, and I just use the Waverly white chalk paint, and I'm just gonna paint them all and then I'm gonna let them dry. Now I also painted the sunflowers the same way as I did with the fall leaves. The only thing different that I did to the sunflowers is that I added the glitter. Once the paint was dry, I just put a little bit of that Mod Podge on the leaves, and then I just sprinkled the glitter, and I was done with the sunflowers, and they came out really, really pretty. Now for the LED pillar candle, I did the same thing. I added the glue and then I sprinkled on the glitter. And I only had this color on hand, but you can really use any color and it'll make any of these candles look really pretty. Okay, now for the hanging scarecrow, I wanted to give it a new hat and also a new collar. So I started by removing the leaf up at the top of his hat, and I also removed that collar that it had. So for his new collar, I used the black and white ribbon and I cut a strip, and then I pleated the top part, and then I also folded it just to make the ribbon just a little bit shorter in length. Then I put some hot glue at the center part of the collar, and then I just attached it to the neck of the scarecrow. And then I put some more glue on each side. And this is how he looks with his new collar. Now for his new hat, I'm going to be using this burlap leaf, and I'm going to first take off the wire from the back side, and I'm just going to hot glue it directly on top of his old hat. But first I'm going to cut off the straw hair. Then I'll be adding some hot glue directly on top of his old hat, and then I'm going to place the leaf right on top, and then I'm going to fold the ends at the back side and I'm going to hot glue them, and then I'll also fold the top part down the middle, but first I'll add some hot glue. And here he is with his new hat. I also added some other things, but I didn't record that. Okay, next I'm gonna work with a pumpkin that I had made that center hole, and what I'm gonna do is add the sunflowers to it. And basically what this pumpkin is gonna do is serve as a vase. Once I was done adding all the florals, this is how it turned out. Okay, so now that the spray paint is dry on the pumpkin stand, I'm ready to start working on it. I'm going to be hot gluing these painted leaves down in the center where the seams are at, and also down below. And then once I'm done adding all the leaves, I'm going to hot glue the scarecrow in the center of my stand. And I also went ahead and I hot glued the string up at the top, as you can see right there. And now I'm going to be adding the excelsior to the pan, and I'm going to start by adding some hot glue around the edge of the pan and then spreading it all over until it looks like this. I'm also going to be hot gluing some more of that excelsior down at the bottom. And this is how the first pumpkin stand looks now that I've added all its pumpkins and everything. For the second stand, I added some excelsior, but I didn't add any glue. And then here it is once I added all its pumpkins. Well, beauties, here it is, my tabletop pumpkin patch stand. I knew that I wanted a fall centerpiece for my table, but I wanted something different. So I came up with this pumpkin patch stand centerpiece. Here is my outdoor pumpkin patch stand. For this fall season, I knew that I wanted something different for my front porch, and so this is what I came up with. I know that it took a lot of prep work because I didn't have a lot of white pumpkins, so I had to do all of them. But I know that I'm going to be adding more as the fall season gets closer. I will add some more down at the bottom, but for now, this will do. Well, beauties, that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. You have yourself a blessed day, and I will see you on my next video. So until then, bye-bye and God bless.